John Pollock here along with Cody Saftik, and a big fight that is now official for March the 4th in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was reported by Lance Pugmire of the LA Times that we are going to get Khabib Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson for an interim lightweight title. Both men have now verbally agreed to the fight. It has been confirmed. And I mean, Cody, this is an outstanding fight. And to such a degree, I don't even care that we're including an interim title. I've kind of just accepted that interim titles are going to be something they go to with ease. And that if that's the reason that it takes to get this fight made, I'm totally down for it.
I think people agree. I mean, these are the two next best guys that should be fighting for a title regardless. So if McGregor's not going to fight either of them, I think that's the logical fight to take place. And people will always complain about vacant titles, talk about interim titles, all of this. I don't like it. You don't like it. Personally, don't like it. But you want to see both guys in a title fight. You think both guys deserve the title fight. So it at least makes sense to put them together. It's a huge fight. I kind of thought that with them going to Russia and trying to break into Russia, that's what they would use Khabib for next. But this is a huge fight. It'll definitely help out the card, and I like it.
Is this, I mean, you pair this with Tyron Woodley and Stephen Thompson, and that feels like really strong fights to headline this card. I don't see this, though, being a show that is going to do in excess, say, of 500,000 buys. Do you see anything that could change that fact?
Yeah, well, throwing on, obviously, the Diaz brothers. I mean, it's UFC 209. I think that's the narrative. That's what the people want to see. And we all love the Diaz brothers. You want to see them compete. And being that it is UFC 209, no, it's not in Stockton, California, but I think that just adds some intrigue. They're both big-name guys. If they were to throw on Nate, I don't think that one's going to happen because a large lump sum of money would be required. But for Nick, I mean, his suspension's over. Why not put him on there? We hear Tyron Woodley come out and say Nick Diaz actually turned down the fight to fight him at UFC 209. Whether that's true or not, I think they could add another key piece to make this a big pay-per-view, but surely it's not going to be one of your mega pay-per-views with your mega stars. It'll just be one of those good, solid, sturdy pay-per-views with good fights the whole way through. With 2 title fights, that's a good start.
Yeah, very meaningful fight with Nurmagomedov and Ferguson, and something that could be an excellent fight. When we look at Tony Ferguson, he's won his last 9 fights. He would have to go all the way back almost to May of 2012 with Michael Johnson, who it kind of plays an interesting part here because Khabib Nurmagomedov has said it's such an incredible run. Realistically, the only time we have seen him deal with any adversity, it was early on at UFC 205 against Johnson, where he did get tagged before he completely took that fight over.
Yeah, and I think if you look at his fights and you think, okay, you know what, he can't really strike, but as soon as he gets the fight to the ground, it's more or less over. And every time that Khabib sets him to the ring, there's just a huge disadvantage for his opponent in those ground exchanges. I think when you look at the McGregor fight, everyone says the same thing. Well, you know what, McGregor's not all that good on the ground. Khabib is good on the ground. Khabib might not be that good standing. McGregor's excellent standing. There's a good style clash there. When you look at Tony Ferguson, he does everything really well. If the fight hits the ground, he's very apt. If you leave your neck out there for 2 seconds, he'll grab a hold of it. And if it stays standing, we see how aggressive this guy is. I think you also play into the fact that with Tony Ferguson going 5 rounds, a mile high into the sky, we know this cardio checks out. So in a title fight, that's great for a good situation for Tony Ferguson. With Khabib, we've never really seen this guy get tired, but at least there's that unknown that we don't know what he looks like in a 5-round situation. So I think with Tony Ferguson, he's super versatile wherever the fight takes place, and surely the winner of this would get the next crack at McGregor. So
no, don't make any assumptions.
You know what? Where's the wood? I'm going to knock on it right now because nothing's a surefire guarantee in this sport.
Conversely, looking at Nurmagomedov and the run he has had, I mean, an undefeated fighter, 7 of those coming inside of the UFC. I mean, there's very little to pick apart of Nurmagomedov's game. With Tony Ferguson, you can see certain spurts like the opening round against Lando Venata where he definitely was in trouble. I mean, this is a guy who has lost fights in his career, but still, when you're looking at the weaknesses, if you can even call them that, do you see any that Tony Ferguson can exploit here?
In terms of weaknesses that he can exploit, of course, and like I mentioned, that stand-up game, I mean, if that's what Tony Ferguson excels at, then that might be the one area that Khabib is not the most refined at. He'll be able to take advantage of that. Also with Khabib, there's that grinding style. When he grinds guys, for the most part, they're not really throwing up submissions from the ground. With Tony Ferguson, at least we know that he's supremely talented on the ground and that he's a very aggressive fighter. He will search for that finish as long as the fight takes place. I really like the fight on the matchmaking standpoint. I think that they're both the premier guys in the organization. But I also feel that with Khabib, no matter how good he is and no matter how much he shows up, there's always going to be that question mark of what if the guy is to get injured again? We know that he's taken off those long layoffs due to the knee injuries. So you put him on a headlining role. You give him a big fight like this against Tony Ferguson. And if he gets hurt, at least you have the Tyron Woodley and Stephen Thompson fight. The co-feature would then be able to come into the main event. But I would love nothing more than to see Khabib healthy, active, either win this fight or just keep moving on. And with Tony Ferguson, once again, if you're a fight fan, if you enjoy fighting and you enjoy all fighting, Tony Ferguson just embodies what casual fans like. He embodies what fighters like themselves. You know, he's a fighter's fighter, so to speak. It's a cliche term, but how could you not like Tony Ferguson? It's a great fight. Both guys have a big fan base, so no matter what, there'll be good back and forth going on.
Well, and as well, they're going to be relied upon to help sell this card.
And they're doing a good job so far. There's a lot of good back and forth between them. As guys that are not traditionally trash talkers, there is that good narrative.
Well, both have excellent personalities, and let's be honest, that's a huge component of being able to sell a pay-per-view. As great as a fight is, that's not going to go outside of your MMA core to attract those buyers. And these are two guys that now have a big platform. It's a relatively big Las Vegas card. And along with Stephen Thompson and Tyron Woodley, those are going to be the four to go out there and really sell this. And I feel Nurmagomedov and Ferguson, they have a big stage to project that to.
Absolutely.
So we will be looking forward to that Saturday, March the 4th. It is UFC 209, Khabib Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson for the interim lightweight championship.